Good morning. I believe Good Friday isn't a new thing to all of us who are listening to this short sharing. Good Friday isn't observed just by Christians alone, but this day is held in honor and with rejoicing by all the people on the earth. And one way of qualifying what I just said is people express Good Friday wishes, and the only reasons for that wish is because everyone believes it is a day Jesus Christ died on the cross for humanity and not just for Christians. This means Good Friday isn't a strange day for people on the earth. However, it will be the most thoughtless and irrational understanding and an experience if our understanding of the Good Friday is limited to wishing Good Friday, having a holiday in the name of Good Friday, and just think that Jesus died on the cross on Friday. I wish to underscore a few important principles of why Good Friday. The purpose of God by sacrificing His only Son, Jesus Christ, on the cross has a deeper meaning, and we will find them. You see, temptation comes to us in three areas. They are physical, this is bodily, mental or psychological, and spiritual, and humanity has sinned from the very beginning on these three areas. Remember Adam and Eve. God created Adam and Eve in His own likeness, and Adam and Eve were innocent, and so Satan wanted to spoil the beauty of their mind, their innocence, their relationship with their Creator God, and so he brought up these three things that were already in them. First was the physical need. It was the fruit God warned them not to eat or touch. Satan said, the moment you eat it, your eyes will be open, the fulfillment of the physical needs. Second, Satan said, you will know good and evil. This was to satisfy the mental and psychological desires. Third, you will be like God. That is what Satan said. Now, who would not like to become like God? So the first man and woman failed, and the separation was so big that men and women on earth did not bother to engage in fulfilling the physical, the mental, and spiritual passion and desires. This burden got so much, so he decided to give his own life. And to do that, he needed to take the cross, which was Satan's greatest fear. But God chose the cross to redeem the world in sin. Remember, after Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist, Jesus spent 40 days and 40 nights fasting and praying, and immediately after that period was over, Satan came and used the three dynamics to tempt Jesus, what he exactly did in the Garden of Eden. First, turning the stones to bread. This was to fulfill the physical need. If you read verse 2, it says, Jesus was hungry. Second, throw himself from the peak of the temple, the mental and psychological contest. And the third, this is the centrality of God's purpose in sending His Son to the earth. Death on the cross, and Satan not willing to let Jesus take the cross, offered the world with just one simple bow. All this I will give you, he said, if you will bow down and worship me. This was a spiritual battle. Remember, cross had the physical torture, the mental and psychological agony, the shame, and yet it also had the final spiritual battle to be won. And Jesus defeated Satan by fulfilling the three temptations, that is physical, mental, and spiritual, and God chased Satan away by winning these three battles. Since then, Satan have never come directly opposing Jesus. But listen to what Satan is trying to do now. Jesus had finished his earthly dust and he must return to heaven. But this one thing remained. Jesus must die on the cross, and only through his death on the cross must he redeem the world from Satan's hand. Remember, just before they entered Jerusalem, Jesus called his disciples and explained to them about his death on the cross. Satan was seeking one more final attempt, because if Jesus died on the cross, Satan is going to be beaten in this battle, and Jesus will redeem the world and the humanity from sin. You see how cleverly Satan worked. He did not approach Jesus this time, but he used Peter, who was the most important figure among the disciples. And Peter opposed Jesus from dying on the cross. We read in Matthew 16:22, he said, "Never, Lord, this shall never happen to you." Jesus responded, "Get behind me, Satan. Get behind me, Satan." Jesus did not call Peter this time Peter, but he called Peter Satan. It was Satan's final attempt, and yes, Satan was defeated. This triumph of Jesus over Satan and his willingness to die on the cross, bringing victory over Satan's clutch over everything on earth, is the message of Good Friday. Jesus fulfilled the wish of the Father by bringing victory over three most important elements of human needs. First, the physical; the second, the mental; and third, the spiritual. Jesus Christ saved us from the power of sin, which seized us physically, mentally, or psychologically, and spiritually. He freed us from these three greatest forces. Therefore, the cross gave birth to biggest power, the power to love us to give physical, mental, and spiritual release, power to forgive us from physical, mental, and spiritual sins we have committed, and power to save us from physical, mental, and spiritual agony. Power to uniting us physically, mentally, and spiritually with God. This is the greatest hope Jesus Christ demonstrated on the cross. First demonstration was on the cross, which was like launching of the hope mission for the humanity. And this he did to the thief on the cross when he said, "Today you shall be with me in paradise." In a context when the entire world, the entire humanity is suffering from this COVID-19, the coronavirus, is the message of the cross relevant for humanity even today? Coronavirus has brought a global suffering. Now who and what can save the world from this globally infectious virus? We have heard of people suffering with various diseases, and in the midst of these sufferings, we also have testimonies of many people who testifies to us of how God healed them apart from those who were healed by medicines. I think this is the right time to turn and seek God. He is the only hope, because in this hope is assured to us in the message of God in Isaiah 53, 4-5. The answer to coronavirus and its effect on the global family lies only in Christ and the powerful healer. Jesus is the powerful healer. But this answer needs to be demonstrated through Christian principles. The faith and belief of the Christian community, supposed to be the disciples and the follower of Jesus Christ, rooted in the teachings and assurance of Jesus Christ, as we see in 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 24. And he himself bore our sins in his body on the cross, so that we might die to sin and live to righteousness. For by his wounds you were healed. By his wounds you were healed. Friends, even today, if only Jesus Christ can be trusted, if Jesus Christ can be believed and called upon him, Jesus can still heal the world. He can still heal us physically, mentally, and spiritually. It is the right time, friends. The Naga Christians needs to demonstrate our faith and belief in the power of God, the healer and redeemer of the world. Friends, as I conclude, this is an opportunity for us to witness. And through our witness, the message of Good Friday be made more practical, relevant before the world. This Good Friday provides us the opportunity to proclaim to the world that Jesus Christ has the power to heal. Jesus is the only hope when there isn't any vaccine. Jesus Christ can still transform and give us physical, mental, and spiritual healing and relieve us from all bondages. May this message speak to us continuously. Amen.